Like, first of all, I was so scared about these two identities, and in my opinion, like, and also in my family, in my Italian family, the only solution was to choose one of the two cultures. Like, or you're Italian or you are from Senegal. You can be both. But now, after the journey, the two journeys that I did, the one in 2014 and the other in 2018, I understand that Andy is both of them. If I change something in myself, I will not be Andy anymore. And this is not, definitely not what I want to be.
Okay. It's interesting you said two families. Who are these two families and why are they fighting?
Okay, so they are my original family, the Senegalese one, and the Italian one. That was actually the family that they met before I was born. And so I raised up with them because in 1998, when I was born, my two parents used to work, so they didn't have time to maybe bring me to school or just to stay with me. So I used to stay Monday to Saturday with my grandmother of the Italian family. Like, I call her mommy, but she's not. And I spend with her like my whole life. So basically, she's my mom and also my grandmother.
So that's interesting. So you have your Italian mom, who's your kind of grandma in a sense as well, because she's an older lady, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
And then
she's
she knew your parents when they moved to Italy. And
yeah,
then, so if I understand it, your parents had to work. They were very, very busy. So they would drop you at her place at the beginning of the week and then pick
yeah,
you up at the end of the week.
yeah,
So you spend like maybe one or 2 days of the week with your Senegalese family, but in
yeah,
Italy together.
yeah,
I
yeah.
see, I see. I thought that you had actually spent your time with the Italian family full time, and your Senegalese family were all in Senegal. That like they moved back, but in fact they were with you. They've always been with you in Italy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're still in
I
Italy. Now
see.
I'm with them
Okay.
right now.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, it's a
yeah.
lot of moving around then between all these houses, I imagine.
Yeah, it is. It is.
All right. So let's go back to your trip. So you're 16, right?
Yeah, 16, yeah.
16 years old, you decide you're going to a place you've never been before, but you
Yeah,
know it through your family in Italy, the
yeah.
Senegalese family. You know you can hear it and everything. What was the biggest shock when you arrived in Senegal? When you got off the plane? What was the big surprise? Or was there no surprise? You tell me.
So the biggest surprise was like the sand everywhere, I think. And after the sand was actually the people and how they look used to look at me, because I came from a reality where like racism and
Mm-hmm.
discrimination were from white people to black people.
Right.
But this was actually the first time that I understood that there were more discrimination from black people to me
Mm-hmm.
because I was from Italy. And so they looked at me like the white one and the Italian one.
Ah, interesting. Can you tell me one incident where you realize where you got that kind of negative reaction in Senegal?
Yeah, I have like, I think the most negative reaction when somebody of my family there told me that I had to come back to Senegal, live
Uh,
there, get married, and forgot about my Italian family because actually they weren't my real family
huh. Okay. Okay. That
because
was
they
a
were white.
relative.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah, yeah. He
relative
was a
of yours.
relative. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I see. Wow, that must be difficult. So you recognize that people saw you as different there, and in Italy they also saw you different. So how do you reconcile those two identities, being an outsider in both
Yeah,
situations?
but in my case, like I know that discrimination in Italy sometimes is very like strong and difficult to the one who were who's discriminated. But
Hmm.
in my case, they were like heavier in Senegal and with
Mm-hmm.
Senegal's people because I still live it now, even with my Senegal friend that lives here. They
Mm-hmm.
keep seeing me like a white people, which I'm not, definitely. And but they say it in a negative way. So I have more discrimination and racism from Senegal people too, and not from the
Mm-hmm.
white one. Because like the people who I raised up with, they are all white, and they never, 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 never see me as different from them.
So how do you deal with these two situations of
So,
reconciling your identity? Tell me.
like, first of all, I was so scared about these two identities, and in my opinion, like, and also in my family, in my Italian family, the only solution was to choose one of the two cultures, like, or you're Italian or you are from Senegal. You can be both. But now, after the journey, the two journeys that I did, the one in 2014 and the other in 2018, I understand that Andy is both of them. If I change something in myself, I will not be Andy anymore. And this is not, definitely not what I want to be.
Okay, so now the first trip you encountered people seeing you as a foreigner because you were raised in Italy, and that
Yeah.
made it a bit difficult. Can you tell me about the positive things as well? What was surprisingly positive about it? Realizing your Senegalese heritage?
So what surprised me was like the strength of the people living there. A strength that I didn't found nowhere, and I travel a lot. It's a strength that comes from their heart, and they really love their culture and where they live. Because I think that some Italian people are less involved in what being Italian mean. But in Senegal, I saw people like loving Africa and Senegal in general, like so deeply in everything they do, in everything they say. So even if they were like a little bit racist with me, they were like this because I think that they think I'm trying to avoid my origins, and in their mind they say, how is it possible? We come from the
Right,
biggest and most beautiful land of the world. How can you say or do like that? Why?
right.
And so that's why I understand them. I was suffering for what they said to me, but I understand that this is just because they love where they come from.
Right, right, right. And how did your family handle your arrival? You have I imagine a big family over there. So
Yeah.
how was it meeting people who look like they know you before you knew them?
Yeah, it was actually like that. Like, oh, the Italian is here. She came, like the son of, and I didn't know nobody of them. Like
Right.
in 100 people, maybe I knew 10, which
Yeah.
were my Grammy
Yeah.
and my other like uncles. They were
Yeah.
there, but
Yeah.
I never had actually some to share with them, because I knew them, but just maybe for the pictures and the little calls that I wanted to avoid when my mom is on the phone. And
Yeah.
that's it. But after I started like to hang out with my mom, with my mommy, with my grandfather too, a lot. I spoke to him a lot, and my little cousins, my big cousins, and my uncles, and my little uncles too, because I have my grandfather has four wives,
Right,
and
right,
yeah, four
right.
wives, and some of them as children that
Right.
they are also smaller than me, and they are my uncles because they're son of my grandfather.
Yeah, wow, wow. So last time when we spoke, I asked you about culture.
Yeah.
So did you see after that first trip some similarities between the Senegalese way of life and the Italian way of life? Did you see anything similar, or was it very different and it was even more different than you imagined?
Oh my God, maybe I think that the only thing that they share, the two cultures share, maybe is the love for the family and for the house, like that you share with your family. But that's
Right.
it. And also they share it, but in a different way. Like
Oh, what
because
do you mean?
in the Senegal family, maybe my mom and my dad they're waiting for me to show them something material, like to thanks them for everything they did. Like they're also, oh, you one day you're gonna buy me a home, a car, and stuff like
Right.
that. And on the other end, the Italian family are like, I want to see you graduate, I want to see you married with your children, with your house, and you don't have to give me something material,
Right.
because like my aim is to see you done
Right.
as a woman.
That's
And
very
this, yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah. This is also what the Senegal family want, but also
But
they
it's
want
yeah,
something
it's
material.
yeah, yeah. That's very interesting. I think for my because I have a Ugandan background and then I was raised in England, and I think people who in my like my friends or even my cousins and stuff who have had a similar background, they
Yeah,
struggle with those things because the parents have different expectations and then you're
yeah,
raised in it with different expectations. So it can cause so many clashes,
yeah,
because
they
just
are.
because you see things through different lenses. It's
Yeah,
literally like you're both looking at the same picture, but you're wearing different glasses. And so
yeah.
how are you able to express what you mean, It's a real
Yeah.
struggle. So
It's so struggle,
now,
even for like especially for me, because having two family, one from Senegal and one from Italy. Like for example, last year I bought in Senegal. I built in Senegal a house for my Grammy, for my
wow,
grandmother, and I bought a car for my dad.
wow,
But I
wow,
didn't do nothing for the Italian family. So I
right,
feel even guilty for this. They think
right.
is right. Like even my Italian family, they told me you did right, because maybe they didn't have the money to do that,
Hmm.
and we
Okay.
have. So you don't
Right.
you
Okay.
don't need to be
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, they make a good point. I think it's always about if extremes, everything
Yeah,
within a limit and everything.
yeah,
I don't think people should support their parents if they cannot survive themselves. I think that's
yeah,
unreasonable. And I think some of us who live abroad can find ourselves in that situation where you
yeah,
feel guilty because you cannot provide for the family back home. But
yeah.
you seem to be doing some good stuff there. Please like and subscribe. Shattered Hughes Films.